بقرأ السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبأث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير حدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Islam gives extreme importance to the family life and to the structure of the family. And for this reason Allah Ta'ala has made the connection of the family extremely strong. And He has made the bond a bond of love and mercy. As Allah Ta'ala He said, وَمِنْ آيَاتِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةً لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. And from His signs is that He has created from your own selves spouses, that you may live with them in peace and harmony. And He has placed between you love and mercy. Verily, and that is a sign for those who reflect. And from that thing that makes the bond of the family strong, ya akhwan, is that for everyone to give the other one their rights. For the woman to give the husband his rights. And for the husband to give the wife her rights. As Allah Ta'ala said, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. And the women, they are due to receive similar rights as they have to give their husband. But understand, ya akhwan, that it's not going to be easy all the time. And there is someone trying to destroy the family and trying to break the bond of the marriage, as comes in the narration in Sahih Muslim, that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إن إبليس يدعو عرشه على الماء ثم يبعث سراياه فأدناهم منه منزلا أعظمهم فتنة. He said that Iblis, he places his throne upon the water and he sends out his emissaries, and those who will be the closest to him are those who can cause the most fitna. نعم فيجيء أحدهم فيقول فعلت كذا وكذا فيقول ما صنعت الشيء. He says, so one of them comes to him and says, I did such and such. And he says to him, you haven't did anything. ثم يجي أحدهم فيقول ما تركته حتى فرقت منه بينه وبين امرأتي. Until one of them comes and says, I did not leave that man. I did not leave him until I separated him from his wife. And so he brings this one close to him and he says, نعم أنت. He says, oh, how good are you? Ibadullah. From those things which break the bond of the Islamic family and destroy the Muslim homes is oppression. Either the wife oppressing the husband or the husband oppressing the wife. And Allah Ta'ala has made oppression haram. As he said, يا عبادي إني حرمت الظلم على نفسي وجعلته بينكم محرما فلا تظالموا. O my slaves, verily I have made oppression haram upon myself, and I have made it haram between you all. So do not oppress one another. And the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave a severe warning to those people who are oppressive when he said, اتقوا الظلم فإن الظلم ظلمات يوم القيامة. He said, protect yourself from being oppressive. Fear being oppressive, because verily oppression will be darkness of the day of judgment. The Mufti Sheikh Abdul Aziz Ali Sheikh, Ya Akhwan, he says you have to understand that Islam has elevated the Muslim woman and given her a high status and elevated her from how she was oppressed and belittled before Islam. And then he lists some ways that the spouses oppress one another. And he says, Ya Akhwan, actually the man will begin to oppress his wife before he even marries her. The woman may begin to oppress her husband before they even get married. He says this oppression begins in what we know as the sit down, where the man comes to propose to the woman and he presents himself as though he's pious. He has taqwa, as though he actually reads the book of Allah Azza wa Jal, as though he goes to the masjid, as though he has a job. He presents himself in a good way, and knowing all of this is not true. The Sheikh says, so he makes sweet promises to the woman that he knows he's not going to fulfill. And the woman may also present herself in a way that she knows is deceptive. And this is the first form of oppression. He says, from the ways that the man may oppress his wife, Akhwan, is by being harsh to his wife and speaking to her in a harsh manner and being severe with his wife. He said, and not knowing that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, khayrukum li ahli wa ana khayrukum li ahli. He said, the best of you are those who are the best to their families, and I am the best to my family. It is from the way of the Salaf, Ya Akhwan, to be nice to your wife. It is from the way of the Salaf, Ya Akhwan, to be kind to your wife. He said, and from the ways that men oppress their wives is that some men, they take it to another level and they begin to beat their wives. Now, and our mother Aisha, anha, she said about the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that one who we say we follow, she said he never hit a woman, nor did he ever hit a slave, but the only time that he would use his hand to hit someone if he was fighting in the cause of Allah Azza wa Jal. And the Messenger of Allah alayhi wasallam, he said, let none of you beat his wife and then go and try to be intimate with her the same night. And from the ways that the men oppress their women, Ya Akhwan, is by cursing at them and calling them names. And the Messenger of Allah alayhi wasallam, he said, do not call offensive names and do not hit in the face. And the Sheikh, he says this word means to make a dua against your spouse or to call her a hurtful name. He said because the names can be more detrimental in the long run than the actual physical beating. For the man to call his wives names. And we find many times, Ya Ikhwan, how many times do the women call and complain that their husbands are calling them fat? The man has the audacity to have a problem with his wife weight after she has given him children. She's given you 4 or 5 children and you are surprised she's gained weight. And many times these same men, they won't take their wife walking. They won't help her go walking to lose weight, but they complain about her being overweight. Now, he said, and from the ways that the men oppress their wives is by not letting them visit their families sometimes. He said, and from the ways that the men oppress their wives is by giving them too much housework and too many responsibilities to do. And the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was the best of examples, his wife Aisha, radiallahu anha, she said about him, she said when he was home, he was in the service of his family. He used to serve his family when he was home. And then when it was time to pray, he would go out to the masjid and pray. And she said about him, مَا كَانَ إِلَّا بَشْرٌ. He said that he was only a man. He would mend his own clothes. He would milk his own animals. And he would serve himself. The Sheikh, Ya Ikhwan, he says from the ways that men are oppressive in their homes, he says that you find some of those men and their iman is weak and their shyness is weaker than that and their fear of Allah is weaker than that. And what do? They command their wives to uncover. They tell their wives to uncover. They don't want her covered up that much. And then they want her to mix with their friends, those men who are not mahram for her. They want her to sit around these men uncovered. Now, he said, and sometimes they'll even tell their wives to look at a movie, a nude movie, or something nude on the internet. He said, and some of the ways that the men are oppressive is they do not spend on their wives. They do not spend on their wives. Although the Messenger of Allah, alayhi salam, he said, you do not spend anything seeking the face of Allah Ta'ala except that you shall be rewarded for it. He said, even the food that you put in the mouth of your wife. So when you feed your wife, Ya Ikhwan, you're getting a reward for it. And also this is the duty that's upon the man to feed his family. He said from the ways that the men oppress their wives is that they take their money. He said you may find a woman that she has a job or a business and she makes her own money, but the man will take her money oppressively. And the Messenger of Allah, alayhi salam, he said it is not permissible to take the wealth of anyone except by their permission. He said, and some men, they'll take a loan from their wives, and it'll take them a long time to pay it back, if they ever pay it back. He said, and from the ways, Ya Ikhwan, that some of the men oppress their wives. He said, you'll find a brother, and he falls out of love with his wife. He doesn't love his wife anymore. Or maybe he was on the internet and found someone that he wants to replace his wife. So he wants to divorce her. But he knows if he puts an iddah, what does he have to do? He has to spend on her for 3 months. So he doesn't want to do that. He's too stingy. So he wants her to get a khula. But in order to get a khula, she has to request the khula. So he begins to treat her in a bad manner. Treat her harsh. Be evil and mean to her. Trying to force her to say, give me a khula. Okay, you got a khula. So he doesn't have to pay the money for 3 months. So he can bring someone else in there to replace that woman. Allah Ta'ala knows his slaves. He has already prohibited this over 1,400 years ago. When he said, وَلَا تَعْضُلُوهُنَّ, and do not oppress them and make things difficult for them.